welcome to the OH.Report video podcast, where it's an American Football Monday for the first time in 2022, and just so happens to be a victory Monday for my Browns, and for Hayden's Steelers, and for G-Man's Vikings, and for the Lions.
Not so much.
Oh my. Well, at least it was fun. And hey, what a great last week of sports we just had here on the OH.Report, and even more fun weekend. And we're here to break it all down for you, fill you in on what we saw and some of our favorite pieces and parts from the week that was. My name is Brian Skoronsky, and here's what you can expect to see on the show coming up. As always, we've got your top plays and your Friday Night Phenom nominees from week 4 of the high school football season. More viral videos that you need to see. We're going to check in live, actually, with the Crestview football team as well from practice, and you get 5 good minutes with each of us. And I personally want to be surprised. I haven't dove in and looked at anything that you guys are providing, so definitely looking forward to it. And speaking of you guys, go ahead and introduce yourself. And since you're already on camera, say what's up, hey.
What's up, everyone? I'm Hayden Gray. Got my Steelers jersey on today. Obviously, as Brian said, Victory Monday, so it comes in a bittersweet things from yesterday's game, but we'll still enjoy the victory today.
Storm Blunchley not enjoying a victory today, but hey, you guys were close, and that's that counts for something in Detroit, right?
Yeah, we were up at one point, which is great. Couldn't get the win, though. I mean, we're Lions fans. We're used to it.
Well, my name's Garrett. My team won. Best team in the NFL right now. So I know it's week 1, but I'll make the claim. So I guess we'll see. Go Vikes.
That's bold. So G-Man got the Vikings at number 1 on his power rankings. We'll see who is making their way onto our list now, and our top play nominees from week number 4, all presented by Adina Corporation.
Our first nominee makes a case for the top rushing touchdown we may have seen so far this season. River Valley's Caden Shadone gonna find the end zone after a 40-yard Viking voyage where he juked and dodged almost the entire Colt defense and high steps it into the end zone. The Vikings would come up short though, 44-42, but this was an instant classic in the Valley.
I think this was the best run, one of the top plays of the night despite the loss. Just makes the Colts defense look silly. I don't know how many guys he totally exposes on this play, but Caden Shadone making his case for being one of those top quarterbacks in the MOAC.
At number 2 we go, and we've got Caden Beach from Cardington Lincoln doing his best Chris Angel impression. He's going to boot out to his right, and then all of a sudden you'll see he's going to vanish into thin air, only to reappear moments later all the way past the Northmore defense and into the end zone for 6. We're going to have to slow this down for you guys and take a look one more time, because, I mean, where does the kid even go? I guess we'll never really know because magicians never reveal their secrets.
I mean, I've gone through this frame by frame. I have no idea where this kid goes, but somehow he pops out on the other side and into pay dirt. Big score here from the Cardington Lincoln Pirates.
Nominee number 3 takes us to the center of the Buckeye State, where if you look closely, you'll see the Trojans decked out in their camo unis, but these East Knox Bulldogs can smell past like a bloodhound and pop. Jesse Rings, he gets hit real hard in the end zone. The collision, of course, takes his top off. The Centerburg Jr. still managed to maintain possession. He was fired up, the bench going nuts, coaches are going nuts, and the offense would score on the ensuing play as the Trojans would keep East Knox in the doghouse all night long. 42-7, your final score there. We're headed to the Millersburg Arcade at nominee 4 because Sam Williams-Dixon was pinballing his way to the senior high Tiger defense on his way in for the game-icing score in West Holmes' 30-point win over the TY Tigers. We got to show this to you one more time, as you're going to see him carry him like a bonus ball through the D front, leap over a defender, then cling, 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 cling. It's a new high score for the junior, who rolls in for a 35-yard touchdown run. Rounding off the list at nominee 5 is New Philadelphia's Trevor Bean. The senior Quaker certainly ate his oats before this game as he displayed strength and speed, bursting seemingly untouched through the Arrows defensive line and turned on the Jets to cap off a 42-yard touchdown run that would help seal the victory for New Philly, 15-7.
Trevor Bean, just the latest offensive player, exposing area defenses, showing that we might need to go back to the fundamentals attacking. Then he turns on the Jets. Big win for the Quakers.
Vote now by commenting for your favorite play below and determine who made the top play from week 4 of the high school football season.
I think it's going to be a super fun race to see who ends up winning the top play. 3 of those, at least in my mind, are all just kind of a step above the rest. There's some pretty quality plays, but when Centerburg's on the countdown, you know that the votes are going to start rolling in. And do remember, if you get in a vote live during the OH.Report video podcast, it doesn't just count for 1 vote. It counts for double the fun, so 2 votes if you're watching live and free right now. So if you got your favorite player or play right there, go ahead and feed in some votes. All right, now it's time to check out the best individual performances from last Friday night on our Friday Night Phenoms.
It's time to meet your nominees for Friday Night Phenoms from Week 4 of the high school football season. Our nominee numero uno was Crestview's Addison Raymer, who would continue his 2022 campaign with 28 carries for $144 and 2 scores as the Cougars would survive versus Western Reserve 24-12. Gee, will we ever see another MVP from the Cougars this season? I mean, this guy is taking over.
Well, it's hard when this guy has 72 with 145 points to some Cougars offense has scored this season, but maybe I'll have to give it to an offensive lineman next time. But right now, Addison Raymer's on a tear, and he's showing that he can fill the shoes back there for the Crestview backfield.
Yeah, you can't do it without the big beef up front, but Raymer, certainly a huge part of the Cougars offense. Nominee number 2 was Cardington QB Caden Beach. The Pirate was flying around the field faster than Captain Hook, plundering yards from the Golden Knights to the count of 8 per carry, including 2 long voyages into the end zone. Beach finished as the game's leading rusher, finishing with 143, all on the ground.
Yeah, Caden really carried his team on his back, but the Pirates just came up a little bit short due to some turnovers, but it wasn't because of Caden Beach. He kept them in this game.
And as you see right here, life is a beach when you're Caden. The Houdini act into the end zone. Bursting through into the number 3 spot this week is Kaylin Lamaster of Disaster. And according to this broadcaster, choosing anyone else would be laughter. Why, you ask? Yeah, this Trojan blasted into the end zone 2 times on 21 carries and flirted with breaking 200 yards, coming in at 198. That breaks down to almost a first down every single time that this Trojan workhorse touched the rock. It was a phenomenal performance from the junior and certainly a worthy contender, a Phenom of the week. Despite the loss, our 4th nominee put up monstrous numbers Friday night as River Valley fell in an instant classic 44-42. The Viking senior QB Caden Shadone accounted for 399 total yards of offense, 197 through the air and 202 on the ground, resulting in 3 rushing touchdowns and 2 passing. Has Shadone made the case to be a top-tier quarterback, maybe even the best in the MOAC, Caden?
I think he has, and I'll at least go as far to say if he doesn't win this week, it's a complete rip-off. Any River Valley Vikings fans out there, give this guy your vote. 399 total yards of offense, and just came up fairly short. Caden Shadone made a monster game.
Nominee number 5 was hungry like the wolf all night in a lopsided win over Mansfield senior. West Holmes junior quarterback Mason Wolf was hunting big plays all night during a 37-7 victory in the night's OCC opener, compiling nearly 275 yards of total offense, including a pair of rushing scores to lead his squad to a perfect 4-0 start. He had total command of the offense the entire contest as West Holmes seemingly took command of the league title race with a big win, riding their junior QB. Our 6th nominee was back in uniform for the first time this season and showed no signs of slowing down as the Whippets raced their way to a 34-6 victory. Shelby Junior running back Miles Hall showed he had that dog in him, grounding and pounding his way for 120 rushing yards, complemented by 2 rushing scores, all in this one game.
Another great addition for the Whippets is take some of that pressure off Skylar Winters and DeVito and just gives them one more versatile threat that they can utilize on the offensive side of the ball.
Nominee number 7 takes us to Gallium, where Gabe Ivey was thirsty for more, tallying 279 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns on the ground while absolutely dominating the Prexies 35-7 as the Tigers moved to 2-2 on the year. Gee, Gallion are beginning to cook. How good is this kid, though?
Back-to-back wins now. I knew this kid was going to come in this season, have a great season, and you got to credit the offensive line. You see that pancake block right there, but Ivy runs behind his shoulder pads too. Just a little frame, but this guy packs a lot of punch. And watch out for the Gallion Tigers in the MOAC.
All of a sudden getting hot, running behind number 2, back-to-back wins for the Tigers. Our final nominee was roasting like hot coffee, fresh out the French press, and he brought those extra strength beans to the brewer. It's New Philly's Trevor Bean, steaming up the Ashland defense for 126 yards and a pair of scores, toting the rock for 5 yards per clip. Quakers got the win too, knocking off the Arrows 15-7 behind Trevor's espresso-style running. Those are your Week 4 nominees for Friday Night Phenom. Make your voice heard by sliding in a vote in the comment section below.
Of course, that your votes count for double the fun right here on the OH.Report video podcast. So get them in right now in the comment section. 2 points for your favorite. All right, now it's time for, I think, our favorite part of the show now. We unloaded this last week on you guys, and we got some pretty good reception, I think. We're all just going to give 5 minutes to showcase kind of anything we want. So we're going to let G-Man kick off the show. What you got for us?
All right, I'll talk about a couple highlights of my week. I'll start out with some local soccer. Saturday night showdown between Lexington and Bay, and what a match this was. What ended in a draw. But Lexington had so many opportunities in the first half to with the shots on goal. I think they had 5, I believe, and they missed all of them. In the second half for Bay, Anthony Russo would knock in a goal, and with about 32 minutes remaining in the second half, and then with the last-ditch effort, Jackson Husty for Lexington would make a free kick from, it was some long distance. We're talking like 40, 50 yards, and would knock that in the second half with 4 minutes remaining to tie this one up and really save the day. I'm not sure how the miscommunication happened for Bay there on the last kick. You'll see it here in the highlights here in just a couple seconds, but it's right here. This is deep, and somehow, some way, this thing just goes in. Looks like the goalie just didn't even see the ball where it was at, but what a game that was. Entertaining all the way to the end. I got to talk to a couple of the guys, and they really didn't know what to expect coming in, and to be able to go in there and tie. I think they were pretty happy with the tie, but I talked to Coach Tim, and he said that he was a little disappointed because they had so many chances in that first half, and especially Alex Depperschmidt. He had a PK in the second half, the beginning of the second half, about 36 minutes, and he wasn't able to capitalize. And they had so many chances to win this game, but just weren't able to do so. I think that was my biggest takeaway, that Lexington, they really should have won this game. But it ended in a tie. Still a great match that I would go and see, so that was the highlight of my Saturday night there. There's a PK where just a little bit too much power from Mr. Depperschmidt. But I'll move on to Crestview football. Was my Friday night. That's where I was at, and a little disappointing showing for the Cougars here today, or Friday night, excuse me. They still won 24-12. Addison Raymer had a good game, but it just didn't look like the dominant Crestview, offensive and defensive line that I was used to seeing so far this season. They had dominated the out-of-conference schedule, running through the likes of Lownville, East Knox, and Highland. And then they ran into their first Firelands Conference opponent. I think that played a factor into it. Western Reserve, nobody doubted them to come in there and win that game, and they came in and gave Crestview a dogfight to the very end, too. Crestview had 2 goal line stands where it was really 2 miscues from Western Reserve, forcing 2 fumbles, and they would end up recovering both. But if Western Reserve can get those in the end zone, it could be a different outcome, and it could be Crestview's first loss. So I think this is a big wake-up call for the Cougars, and let's see. I'm looking forward to seeing how they bounce back for this one. But, of course, I'm going to end my segment on some Vikings talk. I know nobody really cares, but I gotta talk about this because I can't do the Kirk Cousins disrespect anymore. I just can't. It boils me. It just seriously boils me. He had the 3rd highest QBR in the league Sunday, behind the likes of almost said Jax Mahomes, Pat Mahomes, and Justin Herbert. More yards than Stafford, Rodgers, Brady, Murray, Prescott, etc. Was 5th in the league on Sunday with a completion percentage behind guys like Josh Allen and Justin Herbert. He was a top 5 QB yesterday, to say the least, and I think he deserves to be in the top 10 discussion ahead of guys like Dak Prescott, Kyler Murray, and even Lamar Jackson. So I think you need, at least me as the Vikings fan, I'm going to tip my cap to Kirk. Hopefully this reaches you, man. I'm a huge fan, but I know it's probably not. But
He's at Pizza Ranch right now.
So my Vikings, big win over division rival. So go Vikes. I'm proud of you guys. You guys actually proved to me that you're a good team, but it's only week 1. So it's a little overreaction here, but keep it going, baby. That's all for me.
Is that good on time, or does he still have more to fill? We don't have a timer, G. All right, so just real quick. All right, if you're going to throw Kirk Cousins in your top 10, go ahead and break them down for me then. Who is making your top 10? And I know this is right off the tip right now. You haven't had a chance to really think about it. But if you're going to throw out guys that were like the MVP of the league 2 years ago, I got to hear what you got.
Well, Lamar Jackson is not a top 10 QB in this league, so I don't want to hear that. Especially the last 2 years, he has not played the way he did the MVP season. I get it, he had an MVP year, but to say, like, I don't understand when people say, this is the biggest argument for me, is people say, well, Derek Carr's a top 10 QB, but his stats are absolutely horrendous compared to Kirk Cousins. Kirk has 11 more touchdowns and 6 or 7 less interceptions, but because Kirk's team doesn't win, even though we had the 29th ranked defense, we let up the most points at the end of the second half of all time the past 2 seasons. So, I got stats just to back it up, but to name them off in order, or just name them off.
Give me an order. Who's your number 1 in the league if you could swap with anybody?
Pat Mahomes, I think.
Yeah,
and I think
that's an easy pick.
Yeah, people want to say Josh Allen. I don't think so.
Not yet.
But
Not yet. But Josh probably number 2.
It's kind of it's kind of hard. I would probably say Josh Allen. Rodgers is up there. Brady, I have to still pick up there.
Brissett after what was others?
No,
not quite.
Herbert is up there for me.
You got Kyler Murray on there?
No,
I wouldn't. Either.
Nope.
Not a chance.
Dude, I'm blanking. Hold on.
You got Mitch?
What am I, 6?
Yeah, I got Mitch. Yeah, you leaving plenty of room for him.
Allen, Brady, Rodgers, Herbert.
Stafford?
If you're struggling this much, I think I make the argument that Lamar Jackson would be in your top 10 then. Because if you can't think of any more,
I don't.
But then who else?
Well, let me get a list real quick.
Tua?
Let me look it up real quick.
Tua, we got Jalen Hurts running around.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Tua and Jalen Hurts are better than Lamar Jackson.
Here we go. I'm still putting Joe Burrow in my top 10. Don't worry about that performance last week in week 1. Would you would rather have Lamar over
see,
Joe?
I knew you were gonna blow it up.
No, I'm just asking. Would you rather have Joe or Lamar?
Would I rather have Joe or Lamar? I'm taking Lamar Jackson.
I am too.
Wow,
Yeah.
you guys are wild.
Okay.
You guys are wild.
I saw how he played yesterday.
1 game. Yeah.
Okay.
But here's who the NFL has. They have Kyler at 10, Dak at 9. I would rather have Kirk over either of those
Dak's
guys.
horrible.
Stafford at 8, Lamar at 7, Joe at 6. 5's Pat Mahomes, 4 Herbert, 3 Allen, 2 Rodgers, 1 Brady. So on this list, I'd rather have Kirk than Kyler and Dak, and Stafford would be a toss-up.
All right. Storm, I know that you're a big Matt Stafford fan, so that's kind of a good segue here into your 5 minutes of fun. What do you got for us?
I am. He got destroyed on Thursday night, which was unfortunate, but still high hopes for the Rams out there in L.A., and hopefully Stafford will get another ring, or maybe he'll win the MVP, or something good will happen to him, I hope, for all those horrible years that they had to spend in Detroit. No, I was at Buckeye Central versus Seneca East Volleyball on Tuesday. On Tuesday I was, and that was a 5-set match. That was pretty awesome to see. It was the first time Seneca East has beat Buckeye Central since 2018. It was a really tough, grinded-out match, and there was a lot of volleyball, honestly. Like, every set went like 25 points plus.
It was a crazy game. It was I don't know if they call it OT in volleyball, but I think every set was OT.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. The only complaint I had is Buckeye Central, you have to sit in the stands, so my back hurt after. But it's whatever. Then on Wednesday, I participated in my first ever Route 30 rankings, which was a lot of fun. Thanks, Jake, for putting that on. Even though he made fun of me the entire time.
I can confirm he did do that.
Literally the whole time for probably an hour while I was trying to fill out his form, but that's neither here nor there. And it was a lot of fun, honestly. Crestview, of course, sitting at the top. It'll be interesting to see where people put him because, I don't know, they didn't play very well. I think the game was a lot closer than the score indicates, as Garrett alluded to when he talked about Crestview. Their secondary looks bad. Crestview's does. It's rough out there for them, and that's usually a defense that's pretty stout and plays really well. So we'll see. Crestview's got a lot of tough opponents coming up here soon. But honestly, that's pretty much it. I didn't really do a whole lot. Oh, the Stars, Stripes, and Lights thing was really cool on Saturday too. That was probably the latest I've ever been out for a game. But still, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're going to hear more about the Stars, Stripes, and Lights here
and
soon.
Garrett chugged a Red Bull one time.
Check this out. Whoa.
Yeah, Garrett chugged a Red Bull before our game, and then he complained about how sick he felt. So that was a lot of fun, too.
Oh, you put the whole thing down? from top to bottom.
Yeah,
Well,
he
he
was
was
some
gonna-
energy that day.
You were gonna
I wasn't
shotgun it
feeling
there,
the best, so
and then you were like, I don't want to like get all sticky or whatever.
yeah, so had to put that down for the Cougars matchup there, where they struggled, as you mentioned, Storm. But
Look at that glow.
I mean, it was in record time. I thought it was a pretty good pace.
The video sped up just a little bit.
Why do you got to say that?
I'm sorry.
You just ruined it.
I'm
Now it's
sorry.
ruined.
Yeah, I didn't mean to do you like that, man. Sorry.
All right, guys, let's move on to what I think is going to be one of the new coolest things here on the OH.Report. We talked to a lot of athletes, coaches, and in this particular video, we got some fans involved as well in our latest edition of Talk of the Town.
How's the ankle feeling? It's good. I can run on it, so, that's a good sign. We'll be fine. Be back for next week. I couldn't have done without my team, without a doubt. Them pushing me, my coach is pushing me, especially my running back coach, Taylor Sabo. He's an amazing dude. He's always on me about keeping the ball high. Kind of disappointed, but tonight, a little bit of fumbles. We still got stuff to work on. And but those touchdowns, I did all that for Coop, and I'm dedicating the rest of my season.
How big of a 1-2 punch do you feel like you guys can be moving forward now 4-0 on the season?
I think it's very, very valuable to have on a team. We're a dynamic duo. If they take away the box, our receiving core is nice. If they take away our receivers, our box is open. And yeah, Sam was kind of slow today, but at halftime, me and him talked. We got our heads right. And this is one of the best teams we'll face all year. And if we wanted to go where we want to go, we got to get right. We got to run on them. So we talked to our line, we talked to coach, we got things figured out, got it rolling.
Tell me about the run on the course and just your overall thoughts about what they have set up here for this cool event.
This was a really nice course, not many hills, which is kind of nice. The woods are really cool. You're just back there and it's like just dark and you're just running. So it was a really nice course. The lights are really fun to like go underneath. It makes it a little more interesting when you're running.
When you're out here as a fan in cross country, what do you do to try to cheer on your favorites?
Yell really, really loud. That's all I can do.
If you don't mind it, can you just give us a kind of a sample of what that looks like? Give me your best fandom as they're coming by. No. Does it look something like this? Go faster!
It looks exactly like that. Yeah.
All right. So here in about 10 minutes when they start coming through, maybe we'll get you on the picture-in-picture cam, and we should expect to see some of the same.
I'll get you, and you can get me. How's that?
Awesome. Who are you cheering for? Do you have anybody out here that you're making a lot of noise for?
I'm cheering for Bubba.
Oh, Bubba. Is Bubba pretty fast?
Yes, and I'm cheering for Sissy.
Oh, Bubba and Sissy Sue. You got two people that you're out here cheering for, and I bet they run a lot faster when they see these cool lights, huh?
MOAC championship, obviously the goal. Do you feel like tonight that's a good River Valley team out there? Does that give you a good temperature gauge moving forward about some of the competition you're going to see in league play this year?
Yeah, I mean, they're a really good team, and we knew they were good coming in, and we knew Shadoan's really good, and his little brother's really good too. His little brother's a really good receiver, but yeah, they played well, and we knew it was going to be a fight coming in, and we came out on top, and that was great to start off our MOAC journey.
How much are you training every week in terms of your miles, and how do you get ready for competition in terms of tapering?
I don't really know my miles. I just do whatever my coach tells me to. She's awesome and I trust her, so I just do that. I don't track things like crazy. I keep a log, but nothing like that.
Talk about what you think this team can accomplish this year. Obviously, East Knox last year had a very good year. You guys didn't have the year that you probably wanted to have. Talk about what you guys can do in 2022.
I mean, it's definitely a maturity thing. We gotta have the mindset that what we are right now isn't what we are for the rest of the season. It's an everyday process. We gotta get better and better and better. We're working every single day, trying to figure out what we can do better. We don't focus on what we are doing good. We're focused on what we can do better and what we're doing bad right now. So it's just the mindset, the culture that we built the last few years. It's really different changing.
If you've got a chance to talk to some of your athletes after they finish the course, what do they think about running in the night and through the dark?
Oh, it's the fireworks they love. The girls love the start. The nighttime is great. They said you could feel the energy of the crowd and just under the lights, just the whole atmosphere. It's feels like the whole community's out here just cheering. The flag ceremony was very powerful today. Matt does a great job. So I just think the energy here, we had a lot of PRs today, and I think it's something for us to build as we get ready. Postseason will be 5 weeks away. We'll go to our league meet. So I think something to build on.
Give me some insight about that last kick and just digging deep to make sure that you got that top spot.
Well, I was hearing they were being pulled behind me, so I was like, oh boy, they're catching up. And then I come around the corner, I see my time, and I realize I'm about to get a new record. And in fact, one of the top 10 records in our school. But I didn't get it, unfortunately. But I did get a new PR, so I'm always proud about that.
Growing up with an all-star dad like the one you have, what did he teach you growing up about soccer?
Just play tough and do what you do, you know?
Yeah, baby.
Does it feel like Mansfield Christian soccer is back to getting to that level of dominance that we came to know and love for those early, 2010 through about 2018 run?
I don't know. I want to get there, but our team's working hard, and I think we can get there, but we'll see. Maybe next year. This year's looking better, but I think we're going to gradually get better, and maybe next year will be decent.
And so far, it's going well. I love the running in the dark aspect. It's much cooler out. It's not blazing hot like it was 2 weeks ago at Seneca. Something like that. I don't know. It was hot, but now it's nice and cool and dark and fun. For the woods back there, it can get real spotty, which is what the glow-in-the-dark paint's for. So I could see myself and nothing around me.
As an individual, it seems like you were just flying all over the court tonight. Just talk to me about that a little bit.
I put a lot of work in the off season. Been working really hard, working on my swing. I played a lot in the off season.
Well, Max Soviak was a boy who used to go to Edison, used to go to our school, and he died last year. So we all have on our arms to the max. And that's kind of like our motto for tonight, so I think that really helps a lot with pushing myself.
You certainly push yourself to the max tonight. First place finisher from Edison. Very much appreciate the time.
Thank you.
The lights are very bright out here. There's big, rowdy fans on hand. What a difference is this from a normal event?
It's great. So much cheering, and it just makes you want to run that much faster at the very end.
We just focus game to game, but I think this experience will definitely help us. We're going to gain confidence as we go through the season and gel more as a team. So as we continue to play good competition, we're continuing to get better.
We definitely bounced back after last night. We were kind of rough because we didn't have practice a couple days out of the past few weeks. Yeah. But tonight we knew we just needed to get back to it. We've been really focusing on a lot of everything, like serve, receive, and then the hitting defense, and then our hits back to them.
Well, with Max being arguably the best running back in Ohio, we knew that we had to step our game up, and we've just been waiting for this opportunity all season. So I mean, we were just ready to just hammer it down their throats.
Honestly, after we lost that second match, I just knew we needed to step on the gas and go because we haven't had the best start of the first season. So honestly, we just wanted to come out and win.
Just love the team aspect and how welcome the team has made me feel. I came in as a homeschooler, so I didn't come in knowing anybody from the school, and it just made me feel like I had a second family here.
I'd like to give another shout out to Coach Schock. He did an amazing job putting this together, and I just want to thank him again, as well as the helpers that have been out here all week, and also my assistant coach, Mrs. Vanest. Thank you very much, everybody.
Okay, do you have like a special banana dance or anything that you're going to do when they're crossing the finish line?
No, not really.
We'll make like a banana and split out of here, buddy. Thank you so much. How about all those athletes? A lot of fans this week were featured. A couple of coaches. Certainly, I think that's one of my favorite things that we are doing now is that talk of the town. I love mashing them all together and seeing what everyone has to say. And we want to see what they have to say out there in Cougar Country. We've got our own Travis Beraldo, Big League, Big Mac Berardi hanging out there in Olivesburg. What's up, T?
Hey, Travis.
Hi, Travis.
Hey, boys, can you hear me back home?
We can hear you.
Yes, we can.
That's a nice little. Yeah, and you can. So it's Sunday up here in Crestview for us Steelers and Browns fans. Sorry for the Lions loss, but it was close. But it's all Sunday up here in Crestview, and we had the assistant coach Scott Durbin. They're about to start practice, so I'm just going to let you guys start interviewing him right now. So hit it, boys.
What's up, Scott? This is G-Man. Just
how we doing, G-Man?
What's going to take to kind of bounce back from the adversity you guys kind of faced? I know you guys won the game still, but it was kind of a closer game that you guys have been accustomed to. What's it going to take this week in practice to be able to bounce back from that and be able to respond?
And obviously by the results Friday night, we kind of lost focus a little bit. Western came in and they played extremely fit, which is our calling, and they kind of took it at us. And luckily we were able to play the way that we can play down the stretch and hang on and win that game. But we've got to be focused.
Hey, Coach, Brian here. We saw last year, a season ago, Connor Morris step up, had a monster season in the backfield. Addison Raymer doing the same thing in his first opportunity as a full-time starting back. What is it about your guys' scheme that you're bringing to the table that's allowing these guys in their first time as high school starting running backs to explode and be amongst the top in the area?
Well, I think a big part of it, we've been blessed with tremendous athletes for a long time at that running back position. But part of it is definitely the scheme, and Coach Keener together a tremendous scheme, and Coach Stewart does an amazing job with the offensive line, and I think they make it go. Up until last week, we've had Wade Bolin at fullback for last year and the beginning of this year, and we're missing him right now. But we're confident with the way that Cleet Rogers stepped in Friday night and Owen Barker blocking at that fullback position. Those fullbacks at that offensive line make things go.
Yeah, Coach. I like what Garrett alluded to. It was kind of a difficult match on Friday. Just talk to me about what are the big things you're going to focus on in practice. Your secondary kind of looked a little weak. Is that kind of something you guys are going to focus on, this week at practice?
You didn't like that question, Storm.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, you lost it with that one, Storm.
You guys hear us still?
Well, I'm the secondary coach, so you can bet I'm going to focus on it after last week. I thought we had a couple breakdowns early with the defensive backs. We had a couple kids playing in different positions. No, it's a legit question.
I think we're frozen right here.
Yeah,
we're good.
Yeah. No, being a defensive back coach, I'm definitely going to focus on that after last week. I thought we had a couple breakdowns. Early, and I thought maybe we played a little timid after that. Where normally, we play very fast and physical back there, and I think maybe getting beat once or twice early, we kind of played on our heels.
All right, it looks like we got some pretty healthy delay here, so we do appreciate the time. Scott and Travis, who's going to have more with the Cougars coming up. We'll see it featured on area stat leaders as well as country road rankings, and maybe something more in-depth that's just about Crestview on the OH Report coming up here in the next couple of days. But thank you guys. Have a good week at practice, and we'll see you this weekend. Thanks a lot, Scott. All right, Hayden, I think it's going to be your turn now to step up and take over the program with your 5 minutes of fame, buddy.
Man.
Where do you want to begin?
Well, I'll keep the trend alive and at least discuss briefly. I went to a lot of places this week, and not that it's boring, but if I named every place I went and every result and what happened, you'd probably fall asleep. But I was all over the place. Saw a lot of volleyball this week. Just about every day except Friday night last week was volleyball. And particularly even on Saturday morning, if you didn't catch it, we had Clear Fork taking on Madison. That turned out to be quite a good one. But what I do want to talk about, and it might be similar to G-Men, maybe no one will care. Travis isn't here to actually show any care, so, people probably won't like it.
Why do you think the people aren't going to care, Hayden? I don't like how you're starting this.
Well, because it's going to allude to a certain jersey I'm wearing today, and it's going to go straight to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay.
And there might be a few of you out there on the OH Report, and don't be afraid to make yourself known if you're a Steelers fan and
There's
you
a lot of
follow
them.
us.
I'm surrounded by them.
But just wanting to discuss and break down the amount of emotions that my human body displayed yesterday. I know, Brian, in that fourth quarter, you got to see it firsthand, and I just think this game brought about every emotion that you could feel. Pain, joy, disgust, disbelief. And, you know, some pure happiness and joy that was a little bit robbed, though, when it was over and you remember all the injuries that happened. But just want to talk about the game in general. I think that we surprised some people. We forced one of the worst pro performances of Joe Burrow's career. 4 interceptions and a fumble. So you get 5 turnovers out of him. And I think that
some tears, it looks like.
Yeah,
I love that photo.
Yeah, he looks like he's enjoying that one. Maybe the fact that I use this picture will get Travis to stop thinking that I'm so obsessed with Joe Burrow. That man right there, one of the positives. Deontay Johnson made one of the most clutch plays in OT. What a standout catch from him to corral it one-handed inbounds. Along with him, people like Minkah Fitzpatrick, the defense in general, and all the turnovers they created. And you know what? I'm even willing to put Mitch Trubisky on the list of positives. It wasn't the greatest quarterback performance by any means, especially with all the QBs in the NFL nowadays. But I think he came out and did a good enough job to say that we're on the right path in terms of deciding who we would want to start and just figure things out offensively. Obviously, the big negatives for any Steelers fan out there is T.J. Watt. Could be a fully torn pec, which if it is, probably would be the end of his season. We saw that with his brother J.J., so you got to hope if it's partially torn, the best case scenario is he's still probably going to miss 4 or 5 games. And then we just need to produce more turnovers or more points off these turnovers. You know, watching shows and programs on ESPN this morning, just talking about, wow, what a game for us. But as a Steelers fan, I'll be the first one to say we did all that and still only come out. And I'm happy we got the win, but we still only barely scrape out a win. So there's definitely a lot of things to be improved on offensively. But just want to talk about that in case there are any Steelers fans. And I'll keep it on the same topic. Obviously, last week I introduced if you were taking the over or under. And this week I have a question for everyone that's kind of for the fact that you don't have Victory Monday.
Can't help the Lions, man.
So we're going to focus on the positives. And Washington, believe it or not, has opened up as a road underdog to Detroit. So, Storm, do you buy or sell the Lions winning in Week 2?
When was the last time the Lions were a favorite in a game?
I got to buy it, man. I got to take the Lions. I can't not take the Lions, you know.
I like it.
They're my team. I'll
Good
take them
faith.
over anyone.
Okay. Moving on to G-Man. Mr. Vikings here. Justin Jefferson obviously showed out yesterday. 9 catches, 184 yards, 2 TDs. All your deep passion put aside, which I know you, and you're good at being able to put your favorites aside. If you weren't even a Minnesota Vikings fan.
Not with this team, he's not.
Do you think Justin Jefferson, by the end of this regular season, will be dubbed the top receiver in the NFL? Buy or sell that?
I would buy it, but I feel like you have there's 3 guys that you could buy that with, and I think it's Cooper Kupp. Well, I guess 3 other guys: Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams, Justin, and Jamar.
No Tyreek?
Not with Tua. I'm not buying Tyreek with Tua. Are you kidding me? No way.
Smoke and mirrors, man.
I would buy this because Kevin O'Connell coached Cooper Kupp. I'm buying it.
Okay. And then we'll end with you, Brian. Obviously, we got to watch the end of the game together as well for the Browns. The Browns doing what they usually do. They turned looked like a runaway game into a close one and took a game-winning field goal to get it done. But rookie Cade York went 4 for 4 on the day, scored 14 of the Browns' 26 total points. Do you buy or sell that York is the second coming of Phil Dawson?
I think he's better than Phil Dawson by a long shot. He's perfect so far on his young career. This is why you draft a kicker in the 4th round, the only kicker that was drafted in the 2022 draft. This kid's the real deal. He's got a presence that I don't think very many kickers ever have. He's very beloved in the locker room. I love that he got the game ball, and he deserved it. A 58-yarder for the win in your first career game when you made your first 3? Come on, man. He's going to surpass Phil Dawson as the greatest kicker in Browns history.
He should indeed get the game ball if he has to score over half the team's offensive points. But I will leave it at that, and that's my only shot of the day. My time here is done.
All right, guys, I'm going to start with something for my 5 minutes that I haven't seen since I was 19 years old. Okay? You see the gray hairs. You know that I have children now. It's been a long time. So go ahead, show the pic. That's me the year after I was 19. This is 20-year-old me in 2005. And the last time that the Browns actually won in Week 1 was 2004.
Jeff Garcia.
Jeff Garcia was actually our quarterback. In the photo that you saw of me,
That's
I couldn't even
fire.
grow facial hair. Dude, that was taken with a disposable camera because we didn't even have camera phones yet. Really put that into context, like how long it's been since the Browns won in Week 1. So the fact that we had a kicker like Cade York, the last 5 seasons there have been so many kicking struggles for the Browns. It's been obnoxious. It's been annoying. Jeff Garcia is now 52 years old. He's been out the league, I think, for like a dozen years. That was our starting quarterback the last time that we won an opening week game. So I must have also annoyingly said probably 100 times yesterday during the Browns broadcast, if we would just run every single down, we're going to win the game. And then we go to the air. Not a ton. We actually ran it more than we threw. We're the only team in the NFL that did that. But this is my question for you guys. If we ran the ball 80% of the time, if we have 10 throws and only 10 throws per game, do you believe that the Browns would be more successful? Would we win more games if we just ran every single down? Hayden, you can go first.
I'll go. I mean, I'll agree that I think if they upped their run percentage for sure. When you have 2 running backs that can interchange as much as they do, it's less wear and tear on one of them specifically. And I think their offensive line is decent. I think it's above decent. So I think that they could do that, and it would help their success rate. I might raise like the pass attempts to like 12 or 15, but I think they'd be just as successful as they are now. I don't think it could get worse.
Think we can win if we ran every single down in a game storm?
So you're talking? Are we talking you run every single play? Like every play's a run play?
Yeah, let's go ahead and we're going to run every down against the Jets in Week 2.
Do the Jets know that it's happening, or are they still game planning like it's a normal week?
They can game plan any way they want, but if I'm the offensive coordinator, I'm just handing it off every down.
I mean, it's the Jets. You probably still have a pretty decent shot of winning. Yeah, I would say. But yeah, Brissett did not. He did not look good. So I'd take the Browns in an all-running game, honestly, versus the Jets.
Is it a better strategy than actually lining up and throwing it, G?
No, you got to throw the football. You can't run every single play. This isn't Pee-wee. You got to take the top off the defense at some point. I mean, now I get it. If you can hold Brissett to maybe 15, 20 pass attempts a game, he has to have at least 3 or 4 deep shots where you have to try to take the top off, take a shot downfield, because you got to keep the defense honest. They're just going to play 8-man in the box and try to stop you every single play and send blitzes and try to game plan for that once they understand what you're doing. Now, Nick Chubb, he's a heck of a running back, and then to have Kareem Hunt behind him as, a 1-2 punch, it's the best duo in the league. So I think the Browns, they need to be a heavy run team, but Brissett still has to be able to, take the top off the defense and take a couple shots deep, and has to connect, especially with a wide receiver like Amari Cooper. So it's going to be an adjustment period here for the Browns, but got the win. So that's all you can say. They got the win.
And we're not used to that. Because it was opening weekend in the NFL and college football is now in full swing, I think it's pretty easy to overlook what's going on up in Cleveland on the other side of town with the Guardians. If anybody took notice, how about a 3-game sweep in Minnesota over the weekend? And, oh, by the way, that puts them into first place all by themselves in the division. Wins of 4-1, 6-4, 7-6. The Big Bats came alive. You see there are 6 dingers in the series. Can you believe, guys, that we're this deep into the season and that it's basically like the movie Major League playing out in real life? The Guardians, I'm not going to get used to that probably for another couple years. They're in first place. Nobody's seen this coming.
I can tell you this. I can't believe it's this deep in the season and I still haven't watched one inning.
I can't believe it. Yeah, I was literally going to say, I can't believe that baseball is actually still on.
I was just going to own up to
the
I know.
I
was just going to own up to the fact that I couldn't tell you what point in the season they're in, whether it's early, whether it's late.
I will say this, though. A lot of the Vikings pages, they're also Twins fans, and they were like, we just got swept by the Guardians, and now they got sold. So, I mean, I know they're upset, so congrats to the Guardians for getting it done.
Since none of us really were paying attention, I didn't watch a single inning because football was on. I just thought that I'd bring it to light. And now you guys know we're in first place. Okay. All right, Saturday night at Seneca East, we saw a really, I think, amazing combination of patriotism and then some long-distance speedsters. The Stars, Stripes, and Lights cross-country event on Saturday, easily the best XC meet I've ever seen, period. Well over 5,000 people were there just for patrons. That's to go along with over 2,000 runners from each corner of Ohio. The whole entire Buckeye State was well represented. There were fireworks, of course. There were food vendors. But most importantly, I think the camaraderie, the sense of community, recognizing the first responders, the fire departments, the EMTs, all the military. it was brought up time and time again on the PA system to recognize them guys, and they were getting a lot of love from the athletes that we got an opportunity to interview. So I just wanted to give a huge shout out to Matt Schock, who got lots of love in the interviews that we had during the event that we did live, our first and only so far up to this point cross-country live stream, and lots of viewership on it too. People were entertained, and how could you not be? It was an amazing event that it's only in its second year. It's going to continue to get bigger and bigger each and every season as it goes by. Every kid that I talked to said that this was the most fun that they've had at a cross-country event, and most of them PR'd because they're not running right in the middle of the day under the hot sun. It was cool conditions. It was a cool course, and I think that it was the coolest event that I've seen so far this season. Guys, the night before this event on Friday, I was on the call for what was supposed to be the game of the year in the OCC, okay, at least on paper. So we got Mansfield Senior at West Holmes, and here's my question for you. Take a look. Watch this right here in real time. Is that a 40-yard one-handed catch, or is that incomplete? Did you guys see it?
I have to see it again.
That's a real tough angle.
Okay, here it comes. I showed him real time one more time.
No, I think his foot's out.
It's so hard because
it might just be hard, but like he looks like 5 yards out of bounds to me.
Okay, 5 yards out of bounds. All right, let's go ahead and watch this.
Yeah, I need this
let's get
here.
zoomed in, right? Here we go. Okay, there's clear possession, right?
No, he's out of bounds.
He's out.
Oh, is he? So I'm looking at the white chalk.
Yeah, is it the white? I think it's the. I think there's a line.
So maybe I'm misrepresenting this. I thought that the white was the out of bounds, and I'm like, how did they call this?
Wait, it's not the line right near the...
Yeah, it is. So he is out of bounds. And in my edit here, I thought that the full white chalk was representing the inbounds and out of bounds, and I was just going to be disappointed that a one-handed snag didn't count.
Right.
But upon further review and having my friend's eyeballs on it, I see clearly out of bounds with each footstep. Good call by the officials, but this was an awesome catch. That dude is an incredible player, Kyle Maltrich of West Holmes. All right, guys, I want to wrap things up here with a bit of football officiating, okay? So we saw in the Browns game what I thought was maybe the worst call that I've seen for roughing the passer. I think if you show the clip of Baker Mayfield getting tackled in the end zone to football clubs, that you really, truly, if you're an official, you would say, this is exactly what we want you guys to do. This is perfect. You didn't land on top of him. Still threw the flag. It was still horrible. And then I saw in a couple of more games throughout the day, quarterbacks being protected way too much. It's awful. It's horrible. So what I've done is I've searched the internet, and I've decided that this is the video that needs to be shown at every single NFL practice to let you see exactly what needs to happen. This is how you need to tackle the quarterback in 2022.
That's a bit rough still, Brian.
Okay, well, and as you're going to see here at the end, oh, he got the pillow. Oh, but the hanky still comes in. Is there any way to properly hit a quarterback in 2022? I don't think there is.
Did you guys see the Bryce Young, Texas, roughing the passer? That would have been a safety.
Yeah.
That was not. How was that roughing the passer? Like, literally, what are you supposed to do?
How are most of the roughing the passers roughing the passer?
It's true.
I didn't see any good calls where I was like, okay, this one's blatant. Everyone that I personally watched yesterday on NFL Sunday, and I can think of 3 off the top of my head, they were all just like, boo. As a fan, it sucks.
Yeah, it takes a lot out of the game. I mean,
so can't we just set them down like this? This is what they're expecting anyways.
It takes so much fun out of the game. The Vikings didn't get any call yesterday, so I haven't heard anything about it. But I'd seen the couple in the Browns game.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
I wanted to ask you, Brian, about the spike.
Yeah.
That should have been intentional grounding.
Pretty illegal.
I just wondered what your thoughts on were that, because I was like...
Well, the officials, it's week 1 for them, too.
Right.
They're going to miss some things, and also the sports gods. I mean, they've been dumping on Cleveland in week 1 for so long that they were finally just, like, looking the other way for a second. We got off a fast one. We pulled it off, and, hey, 1-0, baby, for the first time since I was a baby-faced kid. Okay, so I think that's that video that we just saw. Kind of a good transition here into the viral videos that you guys need to see. Hayden, fill us in on what you're bringing to the table today.
It was one I was going to bring last week, but I know we kind of narrowed things down to sports and last week, but we're going to open the gates back up to just about anything. So go ahead and roll the footage that I have. And you see here is a semi crash, and there was something inside. Well, what was it? Alfredo sauce.
Oh.
I just think that's kind of funny. Now, hopefully, the driver of the truck was all right.
That's
but,
all Alfredo?
But yeah.
Holy cow.
So, just out of the ordinary.
Dang.
I bet that stunk.
I thought it was like dust.
Yeah,
me too. It was milk.
Nope, Alfredo. Had to be a fun day to drive that cat around.
Think about how many Fazoli's are just totally missing out because of this. How many Olive Gardens don't have their
Yeah.
special secret sauce?
I just thought the world needed to see this. That's all.
I'm hungry.
Okay. Well, I'll go next, and you guys all know Lakers star forward Anthony Davis, right? Well, I saw that he picked up a controller and he played NBA 2K for the first time ever, and he decided to play as himself to see what it's like to be yourself on a video game. So here's the clip, and here's AD being AD, and wouldn't you know it? Look what's going to happen. This is how realistic the game is. Look at his expression. He's like, oh my God. How many times has this actually happened to me? I mean, that's as close to being
The teammates just
in the game
look
as
at
you can
LeBron
get.
just staring.
Out for the season.
Big shocker.
LeBron just gave no
Good
craps.
transition defense, though.
Yeah, look at that. The hustle.
Good block.
Oh.
Good block. Yeah, the old swipe down, man. Never want to do it.
So that's what I got for you. Just how realistic NBA 2K really is in.
The Lakers got
in the
John
new
Morant now
series.
too.
Even get the injuries right. All right, GR Storm. Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Oh.
Mine's back to the old goofball. Just roll it.
I actually almost sent this to you, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
I was crying laughing.
That's terrifying.
About this one yesterday at like 4 or 5 in the morning. I love snakes, man. They're so cool. I wish you could hear the sound. It's like, you know, when you take a flat piece of metal and you like shake it and it makes
Yeah.
that sound. That's the sound that's playing over it. So
That's just the snake body. Like he's not on a vent or anything that's aiding.
Sped up.
yeah.
Yeah, I would hope
But
that's sped
that's
up.
just how they. I don't know. I guess I've never really even. Well, I've seen a snake in real life, but
I don't know. It's terrifying.
I don't know about their tendencies. Tendencies. I don't know about their tendencies.
Chicken tendencies.
Yeah. Do snakes have tendons?
I
I don't think they have
I'm not a
joints.
snake expert. But I thought that one was funny.
All right,
So, Garrett,
G.
you
All right, G, man.
You're good to
All
close
right,
it.
so I saw this. This kind of got swept under the rug with a lot of the sporting events professionally happening. I know it's a sport guy, but did anybody see Adrian Peterson get knocked out? By Le'Veon Bell?
Oh, I haven't seen this.
Yeah.
Who'd he fight?
Le'Veon Bell.
Ooh.
Le'Veon Bell can fight. So when I heard about this, I was like, AP's going to get knocked out. And
Oh, jeez.
yeah, he took a big shot. But this got swept underneath the rug because of like, UFC and everything.
I heard that they only sold 200 tickets to this.
Really?
In a stadium that holds 22,000.
No way.
They gave
Was-
1,000
was-
away
was
for
that
free.
social gloves, whatever.
I don't know. I just too much. I don't know.
He had
It's still
that
he got
man-
rocked.
He had that man transported to a different planet.
Poor AP, man.
I know he had the surgery on that
Oh,
knee a few
no.
years back. Probably have to have.
How
a
bad does
little
AP need
cleanup.
money? He shouldn't need it that bad, right?
No, I think he's like bankrupt
Oh.
to a point. I mean, he's been on like 12 different teams now.
Yeah. So
Shouldn't have
He
looked
got
at
him looking like a Looney Tunes character. I mean, he looked like he didn't know where he was at.
Would any of you guys jump in for a celebrity boxing match?
No.
G-Man?
I don't think so.
No.
Everyone thinks they're a
Depends.
boxer
Depends if I get to pick
nowadays.
my
No.
opponent.
Who would you want to fight?
Storm.
I'm not a celebrity.
So no. I wouldn't even be able to fight Storm. I would just start.
Just be laughing.
I would lay down, dude. I wouldn't even get in the ring.
You guys are really selling tickets.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'd rather lay down than get embarrassed and get knocked out. I'm not a fighter, man.
That is. I don't know if I would ever recover from getting knocked out. I feel like
Yeah.
that's one of the most like embarrassing and low points of your
has
life.
to be. That
I don't
yeah,
think I could.
one of the most embarrassing things in sports is to be just put down.
Because I mean,
clean.
he's a meme now.
Yep. That's never going away.
Right.
I heard Kamaru Usman went on Joe Rogan's show last week, and he had such great perspective. He was like thrilled about the way that his night ended. If you get a chance, listen to it. I was shocked. He's got some really good perspective. All right, we've got a live stream going down tonight on the OH.Report. We got some lady soccer coming up over at Crestview. They're taking on Loudonville. There's that, and all of these other amazing games that you can watch live and free, and or we'll have the highlights for you coming up later on in the evening, including tonight too. We've got Clear Fork and Ontario, the boys. Those are two of the top programs. Actually, I'll just go ahead and say the top two programs in the MOAC, so the winner of that one likely will be moving into the driver's seat. And then tomorrow night, how about Ontario Clear Fork ladies? I'm looking forward to that one. Jess Ryder will be on the call with me. The winner of that one definitely, I think, is going to win the league. Definitely. A lot of volleyball coming up. All of them live too. Northmore, Fredericktown. That's a good-looking match. That'll be tomorrow. Mount Gilead East Knox 2 is on the docket. Thursday night, we'll have Mansfield Christian traveling over to Lucas. And the Freddies will be at Centerburg. That's a huge one in the KMAC. Buckeye Central Monroeville rounds out our weekend. That is a huge contest. Monroeville, of course, went to the state Final Four last year. Buckeye Central, they have been great so far this season, minus the one loss that we had live and free for you guys last week against Seneca East. And then our Friday night football schedule, loaded per usual. So many great games. Guys, I'll go around the room real quick. What game are you most looking forward to seeing the results of? Not necessarily that you're a part of, but what do you want to see? Who wins of what game on Friday, Storm?
I think Mogador and Lucas. I don't know. I just think that'll be not necessarily a high-scoring game, but I think it'll be a really grinded-out battle, and I think it's going to be a really true testing point for Lucas. And they got a couple of tough matchups here coming up, so they're getting into the thick of their schedule. So it'll be interesting to see how they start off this tough stretch.
What about you, G?
For me, I probably have to go with that Galleon Clear Fork game. Clear Fork was on the ropes against River Valley, able to hang on, but now Galleon. Back-to-back winners, and Gabe Ivy's really getting that backfield cooking. So I'm excited to see if Galleon can go in and maybe upset Clear Fork, or if Clear Fork's going to continue to be king in the MOAC.
I'm going to stay in the league, and I want to see if Ontario is able to bounce back. 3-1 on the season. They just took an L, a defeat. Their only one last week. Can they go on the road and take down Caden Shadone and the Vikings? Want to find out?
I think I'll actually agree with Garrett and say Galleon Clear Fork. I think I'm really interested in Galleon, obviously just playing so inspired, but besides the point, they're really good as well. So I think that could be kind of a trap game for Clear Fork.
All right, guys, that's going to wrap up our show for today. One more look at the schedule. That is what is going down on the OH.Report airwaves all week long. Tons of live and free high school sports coverage. Had a great time with you guys today, as always, here on the OH.Report Video Fun podcast. But again, the fun doesn't stop. We've got the live stream coming up tonight from Crestview, and then also the highlights. So, last word of the program goes to. Go ahead, Hayden. What do you got?
Why me? I've been having to end everything lately.
Go Bucks.
Go Steelers. Kirk Cousins is the end.